Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to How to App on iOS. It's Tuesday, is it? It is in Australia. Hope you're well. Here we are again. Thanks for joining me. It's chilly here in Australia, let me tell you that. So, what are we going to do today? We're going to have some fun today, I hope. We're going to make some mistakes today, and that's what it's all about. Love mistakes. Say good day to people in the chat. Good day, Scott. Good to see you. Benedict Stewart, Gary Herbs, and Tom Richel. Yes, we are looking at, exactly right, Tom Richel. We are looking at LRC5. What am I doing? Don't have the main screen up. There we go. I'm too busy rambling stupidity. So, let's cover a couple of things before we get into it. Who the fuck am I? My name's Jade Starr. I'm a musician. I'm a filmmaker. I do lots of different things. This is my website, jadestarr.com.au. I make lots of things. I make a lot of music in lots of various different bands, from death metal to comedy to jazz noise fusion to pop rock, you name it. I make films. Let me click on a link, see if I can get across to my films. I make films, little TV series, little things here. You can find all these things on my YouTube page or on my website. And guess what? I happen to be trans. And if you've got a problem with that, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because it is what it is. You can't really do much about it. So that's a little bit about who I am. Just want to do now a little bit of housekeeping kind of stuff. So let's have a look at what we normally do every day now. Have a look at appslice.co to see if there's any price drops or things like this. This is what I was looking at yesterday. The de-esser from 4 Pockets is now on sale, $1 off. I thought it was there the day before and it disappeared. Now it's back. So not much has changed there. I don't think there's any real new apps. Let's have a look. Click the newest app. So the link to this website is always in the description each day of my video. I'm just going to click music for genre for newest apps. We'll do a quick search. What do we got? Again, nothing much else there from yesterday. So that's cool as well. Give you a little update on what I was talking about yesterday, because if you do know, I did a review on the Positive Grid Spark app. You can click the description above right now if you're watching the replay to go to that review. Yesterday I talked about the power cord, the power brick issue that I was having and a lot of other people are having, and how I'd ordered a new power brick myself off eBay, and that's on its way. Plus, I reached out to Positive Grid because I've got a bit of a direct line through the guys there, which was really cool. And they said they saw my video on BiosFX, so they've been really nice to me. And they're going to send me out a new power brick as well, like they're sending out to a lot of people. So just an update on that. And from what I do think going forward, if you're a bit worried about buying a Spark amplifier, I do believe all the new ones that will be going out from now, since this little problem has occurred, will all be fixed up with these new power bricks. So don't fret about that. It should be cool bananas. Going to take a breath because I'm talking too fast as usual, and it's time for tea. Oh man, I just had an overload of tea right there and a bit of a vape before I get into what we're doing today. Now, if you have a look at the screen here, you will notice down the bottom right here, there's this little thing. Where are we? See this little app down here? This is new. This has just come out. And I'm gonna, you'll see this in a second, because it's something that I already have as a plugin in Aurea Pro. But these guys have just released this THU. It's a guitar effects rack. Basically, it's a competitor to BiosFX. And if you're not into swearing, block your ears. Fuck me dead, man. This thing is sick. This is sick. So I spoke to the developer yesterday, and they were really kind enough, so thank you very much, to give me an unlock code for all of the pedals and cabinets. And it's worth a lot of money, folks. So I'm going to be looking at it next week. I'm really excited about it. Just to give you a little bit of a teaser. Oh my God. So, and to be honest, I've only played with the free version. So I do recommend go and grab it now. It's free. And there's a whole bunch of cabs and pedals and everything and presets already built in. And if you sign up and create an account, you get a whole lot more for free. But let's just flick through the PDF just quickly and show you the model list just to give you a taste of what's in this. I know I'm going a bit fast, but it's probably going to take me a fair while. We're just at the... holy shit. Man, look at all these fucking amps. Whoa. We're still going. All right, so we're finished there. What's next? Here we go. We've got more. Boom, boom. Holy crap, man. This thing is insane. I shit you not. Look, we're still going. Holy fuck, let's speed up a bit. My lord. So I've got the unlock for all of this, and today I'm going to have oh my God, we're still going. 24 pages. Are you shitting me? La la la. All right, so we're up to pedals now. Whoa. Like, I downloaded this PDF last night and saved it. It was just like, what the fuck? On and on and on and on and on and on and on. Let's get on. Look, let's just go all the way to the bottom. There we go. 52 pages. I can't wait for next week. Next week's probably going to need a couple of shows for this thing. I'm not saying that it's awesome or anything yet, but yeah, man, I think this is going to be... Let's put it out there. I have a feeling it's going to be a bit of a bias effects killer. It looks really damn good. I've already it's an AUV3 too, so already got one up over bias effects. I tried it out on GarageBand yesterday, and oh my God, it was such a dream to run. So yeah, that's going to be next week. But what are we doing today? So we're looking at LRC5, and tomorrow we are going to be looking at 4Pockets Visual EQ, and then on Thursday we're going to be looking at where are we? So FabFilter Pro Q3. So we're starting with a free app, then we're starting with a paid medium kind of price. You know, I think it's around $6-7 for the 4Pockets one, and then we're looking at Pro Q3, which is a Pro EQ app. And what I'm going to be doing to keep continuity, seeking that word there, is use the same song for the next 3 episodes. So to kick it off today, because LRC3, you know, it's a pretty simple app to get your head around. It's not going to be really too much of an in-depth thing into it. It's very simple to get your head around. I'm going to be showing you the track that we're working on now. I'll explain first. I'm going to be opening up this track from my album. This song's called The World's Gone Mad. Quite appropriate for what's going on in the world right now. This is the version that's currently on the album, so it's in Auria Pro. And then once I show you the song and what it sounds like in Auria Pro, and the mix that I'm showing you is, I think it's from a few months ago, so there is a more current mix with vocals and stuff, but I like to keep that shit a secret. G'day Stu, thanks for joining us. Great interview, by the way, just caught that. Fantastic stuff. If you're not aware of Stu Cash's band, which is Indigo... Fuck, man. Indigo Sunsets, there we go. Wow, I'm having a bad memory day. Go and look them up right now on YouTube. Do a search. Indigo Sunsets. You'll thank me later. So we're going to look at this Auria Pro track, how it is in Auria Pro, and then for the mixing today, and to show you LRC5, I'm going to be doing a mix that's in GarageBand. And I've got all the levels set to absolute 0, no effects on it, and then we're going to have a look, bring everything up, and do a rough mix down about 20 minutes. And we're going to do the same thing tomorrow and the day after with these 3 different EQ apps. We'll mix them all down, and we'll see which one sounds better at the end of the week. How's that sound? Hopefully like an idea. So let's open this mother up. So this is my song, The World's Gone Mad. As you can see, it's about 32 tracks at present, it looks like. Let's make sure. Yeah, so it's about 32 tracks. Let's open them up a little bit so you can see what's going on. So there they are. If we have a look across the bottom of the project, so we've got kicks, snare, hats, toms, ride, left and right cymbals. Now, if you've seen any of my drum videos, you know how I'd play my electronic drum kit into GarageBand, mix these down into audio stems, and then import them into Audio Pro from GarageBand, and then put effects over the top like Drum Agog here to resample them, basically. That's the deal there with the drums. So we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 7 drum tracks to kick off. We've got a single bass track, which is a stand-up bass. So, and then we've got 4 piano tracks. Now, there's 2 piano tracks that are different, and there's another 2 that are the same piano tracks, just with a different effect on them that are lower in the mix. We've got 2 acoustic guitar tracks. We've got 3 sets of strings there. We've got a couple of brass tracks, an accordion, and if you see here across the bottom, these ones called Bang, Dog, FX, Horn, Panic, Psycho, Scream. They are some of the effects that I have in the chorus of crazy shit in the background to kind of make an effect of the world going mad. So there's dogs barking, people screaming, there's party horns, all this crazy shit in the background for this particular song. Then I've got 2 tracks over here of electric guitars, and this last track here, number 32, I do believe is a trombone. Now, across the top here, if you look up here on the output, all of these tracks have been sent to the buses at the end here, these buses here. So I have a vocal track that's empty for vocals. This track here says backing vocals, but it actually has a piano track. All the drums are in here, guitar, acoustic guitars in there, brass, piano, strings, and all those crazy effects are in the last track. And the bass track and the electric heavy guitars are not in the bus, so they're separate tracks. So what I'm going to do is first just play through the entire song so you get an idea of what the song, how it should really sound, and then we're going to go and jump over into GarageBand. So kick back. I might sing along to it since it's missing vocals, and you get a sneak peek of one of the tracks from my album. I think it's about the 3rd last track on my album, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Can you all feel something is coming? The earth's frequency is humming. There's no loving, only fighting over nothing. We believe reality has shifted a dimension. We must pay attention and awaken. The information is now a weapon of deceit, and freedom is just an illusion. A slavery system of oppression, and the answers that we no longer seek. The black mirrors have made us all strangers from behind lonely social pages. It's contagious and outrageous to accept that the world's gone mad. Life seems so sad, and everyone's mad because the world's gone mad. Fake news coverage is driving us crazy. The world's gone mad. Life seems so bad. You've gotta look deep within, yeah, or out of control you spin. Look for the trouble and deceit, or out of love you will see. It's a bit early. Some people believe that a stray savior is coming. We should believe in something, not nothing. All weak and easy to be indoctrinated by fake news and the hatred, manipulated, manifested our accepted defeat. The truth barely lies and hides under a disguise. We must open our eyes and realize the truth, our lies will be our demise. The black mirrors can save us information to offer us insight and stand up and fight for what's right. Accept the world's gone mad. Life seems so sad. Everyone's bad because the world's gone mad. Fake news reality is driving us crazy. The world's gone mad. We must make a stand. You gotta look deep within, or out of control you spin. Filter the noise and division. It's time to make a decision. People are crazy. Okay, so that's the song. Sorry for my horrible vocals at first thing in the morning. I'm sure my neighbors hate my fucking guts right now. So let's open this thing up in GarageBand and let's do a mix of this throw some LRC on there, have a look at how EQ works, how to really fucking get the most out of EQ by less is more, because that's what it's all about. That is EQ in a nutshell. I've heard Pete say it. I've heard many people say it. It's about EQ is volumes. You're adding volume to frequencies. So if you already, the ultimate goal with EQ is always going to be less is more. You want to get the best possible mix out of your original takes, out of a flat mix before you even consider adding EQ. It is the most important thing. Thank you for the love for my song. Very kind. I hope by the time this stupid album's finished, it'll be awesome. And that's what my Patreon's going to be about. That's why I kind of did that for the start of this show, to show you what you can expect when you join my Patreon, to watch the album be finished and put together. So let's open Garageband. Well, I'm opening this project here. I'll let you know. I'll remind you again, tomorrow we're looking at 4 Pockets EQ, the visual EQ, and I will be giving away 4 copies of that on Friday. So make sure you're here for it. For the usual thing, to leave a comment. I'm going to give away 4 copies of it. Here is the track in GarageBand. So as you can see, all the drums are all split up exactly the same as what you saw in Audio Pro there. All the sound effects. We're going to start off with the sound effects, and then I'm going to mute those out first, because they're a weird part of the song, and they're probably out of all the parts of this song that need the most EQing, strangely enough. So we'll jump over here. We're going to, let's see, which one is which? I think this is the main track here. That's not it. They start here. So in the chorus, these effects. Now, I think this first one, that's not it either. There you go. See, I don't even know where my own effects are. We're probably here. No. No. There we go. There they are. So they are the effects that are in the chorus. I'm trying to capture that mental, crazy kind of thing. Then we've got these dogs barking at the end of each chorus, which fade out in the actual mix. And if I do click on this track and show you automation, I'm pretty sure they've already been automated in here. So just to show you that, they're both selected. Let's have a listen. So yeah, we'll turn off that automation for now. Bye-bye to you. Okay, so they are the sound effects. Let's start with the drums to get the song happening, and the bass. They are going to be the first things that we're going to mix here. So the song comes in at 25. The one thing I wish GarageBand has was when you hit stop, it automatically goes back to where you started. It's a cool feature that is in Audio Pro that I miss in GarageBand so much. So let's solo these drum tracks. As you can see, that top drum track there, I'm using Kyle. I'm just using his hi-hats, as you can hear, because I couldn't be bothered at the time that I put this GarageBand project together. Kicks, snare. We've got toms on the line below. Cool. So the first thing I'm going to do to this while it's playing is play with the snare and add some EQ to that. So if you've used GarageBand before, you know there's already been, I actually left the EQ on from GarageBand. So make sure they're all off first. Bye-bye. And all these drum tracks, the compression's just on automatically, so I've just left them on for now. Let's go back to the start there. Okay, so we want snare. We're going to edit. Go to audio unit extensions, and we're going to add LRC. I've gone past it. Don't have my glasses on. It's so stupid. Where are my glasses? So here is the LRC. This is what you've got. Before I do that, I'm just going to solo the snare. So you can make it go full screen by clicking the arrows here. Now the one thing about LRC, I will say straight up, you do get, if you click down here in the bottom left hand corner, you do get some presets. There they are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 presets. So now the reason I'm telling you about these presets, and I'm going to touch on this and let that snare just keep going in the background, because I love being annoyed by drummers, as long as they don't make me carry out their gear at the end of the show. So when you're looking at an EQ app, I had somebody send me a question a few weeks ago I can't remember who it was right now, but it was in relation to a good EQ app that they could use that would have presets built into it. And my answer was that you're going to not find a lot of EQ apps that have presets built into them. And there's a reason for that. There is a reason for that. That reason is making presets for a take of a guitar or any part in a song is pretty hard to make a preset for, because it all depends on the take, on how well you recorded it, on how well the vocal take is, on how well that clean guitar is. So even if you have all these had a massive selection of presets in an EQ app, it's not going to magically make your sound it's not going to be the magic icing that fixes it, because it all depends on your mix. So, I mean, you can start off always with a preset, but from my experience, even with the high-end Fab Filter EQs, there really aren't a lot of preset options. And this is one of them. So let's just click through what you get. And they're pretty extreme, these ones. So remember what I said at the beginning of this. EQing is not about this. This first one, it's not about, hang on, it's not that one. It's not about that, right? That's really excessive. I mean, that looks like my life right there. Ups and downs all over the place. It's not a roller coaster. What EQing is all about is finding frequencies in a take and finding the frequencies that are fucking annoying, and finding them and getting rid of them, pulling them out of it. And also, you want to use EQ to balance your mix between tracks. So if you have a guitar take that's got a lot of highs in it, and you want to balance it out with the other guitar track with less highs, you know what I'm saying? So especially with competing guitars, everything has to balance each other out. So you want the frequencies to not clash together. That is the key of it. And the other main thing I want to just talk about before just adding these things to these tracks is make fucking mistakes. Make heaps of mistakes EQing. Overdo it. Don't be afraid to put way too much EQ on when you're originally mixing something down, because that's when you're doing final mixes. That's when you start pulling things back. Professional recording studios will always, you can add shitloads of stuff to a song, but the beautiful part is at the end of it is how you are able to pull stuff out of it and give the song air to breathe at the end. So if you ever come across people who say, oh, you've put too much, it's too complicated, there's way too many effects, always keep it in mind, but don't be afraid to do that. But then always remind yourself in the back of your mind to pull things back for final mixes, balance things out. That's what it's all about. That's what that final mix is. So even an EQ setting like this is not too bad to add. You might hear it, it sounds perfectly fine for what you're using, but then as soon as you start layering other tracks on top of it, that's when something like this is going to get increasingly hard to balance with other tracks. See, even things like that, pretty excessive stuff, right? So I tend to start with LRC5 with a flat mix. That's it. With this particular EQ, I find it really easy to start with a flat mix. So how do you use it? You touch one of your 5 there, and it changes color. If you hold it down, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. If you touch another one while that one is touched, you're controlling 2 at the same time. Then if you add another one, you can actually control 3, and the same. You can control all of these at the same time. Okay, so now they're all, let's get those back to flat. If you do a pinch from left to right, like you're pinching on a photo, left, right, let's just bring this down. What am I doing? Sorry, we'll do that with this one. If you hold down on it and then pinch left and right, you'll see you are getting a finer point to find those frequencies. All right, so I'm holding my finger on that. I'll do it on the next one as well. Let's get rid of that drop box. God, how do I get rid of it? There we go. I'm not using my... Man, that's lame. Oh, there it is. There's an X. Let's go full screen. So I'm holding down on it again. If I do it with my mouse, hold down on the button. Let's just pinch it. All right. You can see the circle inside changes. So that's giving you a finer point to find a specific frequency and pull that either down or give it more volume. Then if you pinch again, sorry, let's get here. You can bring that back. Let's go back to a flat mix. Where are we? Oh man, why are you not working for me today? There we go. There's back to a flat mix. Okay. So what we're going to do now is just have a look at this snare. Let's go back to this snare track and start playing that, because I want to give this a bit more high. It's, for me, that's got too much bottom in it. And that's all I want right now. Yep. Just a minor adjustment. So now when I listen to all these drums again, let's hear that in with the rest of the drums. Cool. That's all I really want, because I'm not doing a final mix. This is just a rough mix, and with the drums, normally I keep everything pretty standard. With the Garageband drums, I really don't play with the kicks too much, because everything with Garageband is made easily to sit there and do its thing. So let's jump over and add in these 2 piano tracks next, and we're going to pull out those drums, and let's have a listen to these. Okay, so we've got a low piano here. Okay, so I just have pulled out this frequency which I found around here, and you know, now remember, I'm not telling you how to mix and what's right or wrong. It's your ears. Now, I'm just doing a light mix here, and this is what I can hear in this piano that I want to remove. So there is no right or wrong. So for somebody to say you're doing EQ wrong is bullshit. And if anybody tells you that, if the song sounds right to you and it works, then that's fine. Remember that. That is the most important thing about EQ. So now I'm going to jump over to this higher track and add LRC. So all I really wanted to do with that was give it a bit of high end and pull out the low rumble in there because I want it to stand out above this this other lower piano part. So let's hear them together. Oops, let's do it from the start so the sustain is in there. So to most of you, you're probably thinking, I can't really hear much difference because I turned them both on and off then, but that's what it's about. It's about subtle differences. It seriously is. And you know what? It make mistakes and, you know, by all means, pump everything up if that's what you really want to do. But you will find the more and more that you record songs using EQ and release tracks, mix down tracks, have to master tracks, you will more and more get down to doing less and less EQing because it's a better way to go to have your song sounding as good as you possibly can before EQ. It is those subtle differences that will make your songs pop. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to do a mix of the whole song. And then we're going to go back and just look at the guitars in here because everything else kind of has a flat mix and I'm pretty happy with that. And that'll be the last thing I do. As I said, I really don't want to go into like mixing down the, you know, adding it to everything on this track. This is just to give you today's one is more of a brief introduction. Tomorrow and Thursday we have much heavier apps to look at and do a lot more interesting stuff with. Okay, so let's start this playing from here and we're going to bring everything else into the mix. What do we got? There we go. Got to get rid of those. Oops, where did the sound go? That would help if I was on the right track. Okay, let's go back to these guitars to the start of this track. So there's some vocals there. Now we're going to have a look at these tracks here. So these are the strings. And these strings have been played from iSymphonic, I do believe, through Music Studio and then into here. So let's try and manipulate these a bit. Okay, and where are we? Gonna have a quick look at this bass. I hate when I do that. Now the last few things on here I'm going to add into the mix now. Let's go through these. So these are a bunch of effects here. Let's add these in now. And they are the screams and all of that stuff, I do believe. But Okay, so the last few tracks I'm going to stuff with these. These are strings and horns. Okay, let's hear how this chorus sounds. And the last thing I'm going to play with just for today is these kicks, because they're garbage. Let's listen to them. For starters, we're going to change the kicks actually to and we're going to add in LRC5 in here as well. So as you can see too, you don't need to put EQ on every goddamn track. Remember that as well. You don't need to. So as you'll notice, I always cut out low frequencies. Cool, that's popping enough. So let's have a listen to this through and we'll call it a day. Bang. So what I'm going to do now is just do a mix down of it, because it is good to do mix downs of things and just have a whole collection of mix downs to go through and take. I will even do a lot of the time take a screenshot before we do this. So take a look at your project and take a couple of screenshots of how things are set up. So what would need 1, 2, 3 screenshots, and bang. Save them to your photos, jump over here, hit select. We're going to do a quick share as an uncompressed WAV, open in, and we'll save this over to, now this is going to be a loud mix. I'm sure the worst thing about GarageBand, and the good thing for some people, is that they add their compression and all that stuff to it. So let's just hope my iPad doesn't crash, because I think I still have Audio Pro running in the background, so that might end up crashing GarageBand. I didn't think about that. So while this is going down too, remember LRC5, there's a link in the description. It's absolutely free. So the only thing it's lacking is a visual EQ. So a visual EQ is really handy, which you're going to see in the other apps that I'm going to be looking at tomorrow and on Thursday. But it's absolutely free to go and play with it. And it's really good because one of the best things about it is it doesn't take up a lot of memory to run several instances of it on several tracks. That is one of the coolest things about it. When you start getting into more high-end EQ apps like FabFilter, although FabFilter doesn't really run it a lot, but you know what it's like when you're running a lot of AUV3 plugins. It'll tend to crash your DAW, whatever you're using, so always be wary of that. Nobody likes having their song crash and losing all their data, so be wary of that. That is a good thing about LRC5. It doesn't hog up your system resources. So we didn't get a crash, so that's cool. We can save this to audio share, and there we go. Look, it actually hasn't peaked out totally, so it's not that bad. That's a fairly good mix, and I'm listening to this on headphones. What I do recommend too is having some monitors or a bunch of different places to listen to it. You've heard it all before: car stereos, Wi-Fi speakers, your home stereo, headphones, some monitors. Listen to your mixes on various things. So that's that for today. Didn't really go too in depth, just more of a quick mix. Tomorrow we'll be looking at the same track but with different gear, and I'll be focusing more on the same instruments that I actually added EQ to today, because I feel those are the instruments of this particular song that need EQing. So always snare and kick drum, piano, guitar, some bass and strings. So that's about it there. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's gone a bit longer than I thought, but I knew today's one would do because I was playing the song at the beginning. Do all the usual stuff. If you can, it helps me out. I just want to say thank you all for all the comments and love that you've been giving me over the last 5 weeks I've been doing this. It's much appreciated. Always feel free to leave a comment, ask a question. I always answer questions as fast as I possibly can. Try to be attentive, share, comment, all that stuff. You can find me on Facebook and go to my website, jadestarr.com.au. And just before I go, I'll let you know that my Patreon is coming very, very soon. I nearly have it all put together, and that's where I'll be mixing down and putting together my entire album. And you can be a part of that every day and get a whole lot of videos, live streams specifically on Patreon, and be a part of the intense stuff that I'm going to do finishing this album of 22 tracks. So you will get your money's worth. Definitely. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I will see you tomorrow once again on the same bat time, same bat channel. So I hope you all have a fantastic day. Look after yourself. Say gangster. Keep making music and keep doing the thing, man. Because stuff and things are stuff. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.